The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is seeingeagles.com. I'm the voice of the Eagles Adam Cavalier, and welcome into another week of Sunday Conversations. Each week we profile a current or former Carson-Newman athlete, coach, or administrator. And this week we welcome in softball alum Elayna Siebert. Elayna, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me.
The South Atlantic Conference Woman of the Year, one of the final 9 for the NCAA's Woman of the Year, honored in a ceremony in Indianapolis in mid-October. What was it like to go through that process and be among 9 finalists who have some pretty heady stuff to their names?
That's an understatement. It was incredible. The other women who were a part of the top 30 and the top 9 were amazing people, amazing athletes. They have incredible accomplishments to their name. Each step of the process was a complete surprise. When I got the SAC Woman of the Year, I was like, okay, that's great. It's a great way to top off my softball career, and I thought that was it. And then I found out there was more, and I made the top 30, and I was like, well, this is phenomenal. And then I made the top 9, and I was like, okay, this is really happening. That was kind of how my thought process was each step of the way, but it was pretty amazing.
Your father mentioned to me, and I think he thinks of it the right way, the best softball player in the mix.
I do prefer that. I like how that thought process works.
You look at all those people that you were honored with, and you told me earlier it was surreal. Throughout that weekend, getting to do all that you did, what's your favorite memory? What will you take with you for the rest of your life?
Apart from meeting each other individual that was there, my favorite part of the entire weekend was our community service project, actually. Mm-hmm. We met up with Jessica Mendoza. She spoke to us as female athletes about the power of females in the athletic world. And that was a phenomenal talk with her because I felt like what she spoke about related to me on a deeper level. But after that talk, we actually packed over 500 backpacks for students who weren't able to afford school supplies in that area. And it was extremely rewarding, even not really getting to see the kids who got those backpacks. It was just the thought that we were helping someone in some way there. Positively
shocking that community service impacted you. Your application was chock full of it to the brim for that. What is it about helping out that you like so much?
Honestly, I don't know. It makes me feel good as a person, but I feel like that's sort of a selfish way to look at it. Mm-hmm. Just the fact that I'm so fortunate to have what I have, and knowing that I have more than I need, I feel somewhat obligated to give back to someone, somewhere, somehow, any way that I possibly can. And if I can see the result of that and see the faces of the people I'm helping, that's great. But even if I can't, just knowing that I'm not wasting what God has given me, it means everything to me.
Filling the backpacks, did you get to see the fruits of those labors at all? Or was it just the action itself?
It was just the action itself. We filled up the backpacks, we put them in boxes, and they're waiting to be delivered right now. And getting to work with the other 29 ladies in the top 30 was pretty awesome. We were all really excited about being able to help out.
You look at the ceremony as a whole. You were there with your parents. Vicky Kazee-Hollifield, your head coach, I believe, showed up on a whim.
Yes.
What was your reaction when you got to see her?
I was so shocked. She actually came up behind me, so I physically couldn't see her while I was talking to my parents before the reception began. And I heard her, those folks from Tennessee. And I turned around and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my coach. I was like, wow, okay, she's actually here to surprise me. That was actually really meaningful. It was great of her to do that for me.
It's a decent Vicky impersonation that you have that I didn't know that you had.
It was a little dramatic. I mean, she's not that Southern, but that's what I heard. I was like, that's way more Southern than the Indianapolis folks that I'm used to hearing right now.
You've moved on as a graduate assistant at Auburn University, working with the softball program. Your playing days are done, for the most part, at least competitively and collegiately. What's it like to still be around the game, though?
Oh, it's everything to me. Life between the lines as a player, it was my life. Softball was everything to me, and it still is. And knowing that I'm able to stay involved and kind of give back to the players that are playing right now, I know that my time's done, but it's still their time. And the fact that I can contribute somehow to girls that are playing right now, it's everything to me.
You look at what, again, a coach in Vicky Kazee-Hollifield, who has closing in on her 1100th career victory this season. What do you take from what you learned within this program that you can see being applied at Auburn?
Coach Hollifield is extremely tough. She never let you go out there as a player and give half effort or give anything less than 110% out there. And no matter what you're going through off the field, she made you leave it off the field. She told you what your priorities were, and you had to adjust to that. And that is something that I could see it being applied at Auburn as a grad assistant as well, but I also kind of apply that just to my life in general. And I really appreciate that she taught me how to do that.
Your move to Carson-Newman was a bizarre one. You were, what, 17?
Yes.
And enrolled, was it January, or did you come early in the fall of your first year here?
It was in January.
What was that like, your first month on campus? You earned a starting role 4 games into your freshman season. What do you remember about that?
Well, I remember that it was extremely nerve-wracking. I remember the move-in process. I was actually kind of sick the first couple of days. I was so stressed out and worried, and I was young. Too young to come into college for some people in their perspective. But what I remember most about that probably was just how much Coach Branham was here at that time. The seniors that we had on the team, how much they helped me and lifted me up at that point, because they knew that was an entirely new atmosphere for me, and it was extremely competitive. And I really appreciate that they helped me and lifted me up and encouraged me, but they also pushed me and made sure that I knew my role on the team was to help them. What
goes down as your favorite memory of being a Carson-Newman softball player?
My favorite memory, it kind of ties into the people that I met here and the relationships that I made. There are girls who, coming here from Auburn this morning, I got to meet up with about 5 or 6 of the girls that I played with here. And we talked the entire second half of the football game, and we just talked about anything and everything. And it was so fun, because those friendships are going to be there forever. And that's the one thing I take away from this school that I will cherish.
Okay, you have that. That's a great answer. On the field, what's your favorite memory? Game situation.
My favorite memory on the field would have to be when we clinched the SAC title as a team. We were playing Tusculum, I remember, and it was actually the day that we were wearing our pink uniforms for Sarah Howard's mom in honor of breast cancer awareness. And that was already a great purpose for that ball game, but then knowing Haley Burnett was the one who hit the winning run in, and seeing Sarah Howard charge onto the field to the person who scored, and then back to Haley to give her a huge hug, and all of us just huddling up together. It was a great team moment for us.
What would be your message to somebody who's in high school right now, or even further beyond in middle school, and it doesn't have to just be softball, but is interested in pursuing athletics? What's your advice to them to maintain a level of excellence on the field, and as you did in the classroom, and as you did in life itself from a community service perspective?
I would say 2 things. One, get an agenda. That's the one thing that helped me stay on top of everything, because when you're a student athlete, you're extremely busy. But the second thing is to make sure that you have that passion and you keep it and you don't let anyone take it away from you. There were a lot of times throughout my college career when I pretty much lost that passion and I wanted to just quit and kind of give up, maybe just be a student or even just move back home. And I didn't, for the grace of God, that's for sure. But I look back now and I'm extremely grateful that the people around me didn't let me give up. And they know that softball is my passion. It will forever be my passion. And if I could give anyone a piece of advice, it would be hold on to that passion for dear life and don't let anyone take it away from you.
Were those moments in the first 2 years that you were here?
They were. It's easy to love a game when you're successful at it. My junior and senior year, I was successful at softball.
Yeah.
My freshman and sophomore year, I had a little bit of a success, but I also had some growing pains. And those were the moments that I had to work through.
I would argue that you were successful your freshman year. You hit .350, had a couple dingers, a few doubles. Sophomore year, sub 300. But how did you work through those issues to stay?
I prayed a lot, and I fed off of the energy of my teammates and my parents and my coaches. They're the people who know me probably better than I know myself at some points, and they knew that I loved the game, and they knew that I was good enough to be successful, more successful than that at that point. And so they didn't let me feel self-pity. They didn't let me doubt myself, and they didn't let me give up, and I really appreciate that too.
You look at your life process. You graduate from Carson-Newman to 3.97, I think it was, or something astronomically good in accounting. You go to Auburn, accounting's out the window, kinesiology.
Yes.
Where do you envision your life progressing?
I would love to be a college softball coach. That's my dream career, it is, because I love the sport and I love teaching it and I love seeing other people succeed at it. If that didn't work out for some reason, then I would hope that maybe I could be a personal trainer one day, but we'll see.
For your teammates here, what's your advice to them as they progress toward the 2017 season?
National championship. Keep that in your eyes. Keep that goal set. I wanted that so bad as a player, but if I could see them succeed at that, that would probably make my career, actually. I'd be able to say that my alma mater and the teammates that I played with were able to clinch that title.
Elayna, thanks for the time and stopping by.
Thank you.
That is Carson-Newman softball alum Elayna Siebert and NCAA Woman of the Year Final 9 finalist. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier. This has been a Sunday Conversation, and this is seeingeagles.com.